Well, hello there. My name is Dave Bila. I want to welcome you to this new edition of News and Views, broadcast by Access LaPorte County on Public Access TV Channel 99. We are a weekly public opinion program addressing local, state, and national topics and issues of interest to the Michigan City and surrounding areas. Opinions are the views and the responsibilities of those making the comments and do not necessarily reflect or represent the views of this program or Larry Curley and Mo, either one of us. We will adhere to broadcast rules, but absolutely no one's First Amendment rights of freedom of speech, notice I said freedom of speech, or freedom of the press, will be either muzzled nor denied. Any unauthorized use of the accounts, descriptions, and events of this program without the express written consent of Larry Curley or Schmo is strictly prohibited. We hope you enjoy the program, the discussion, and any participants. Ladies and gentlemen, I was beating my head up against the wall, jumping out of the shower, slipping and falling, but I didn't hurt myself. And I decided the topic of today. And the topic of today is a topic that's quite relevant before the 4th of July, is next week. The topic is freedom, and our freedom, Bob's freedom, Tony's freedom, and my freedom to sit here and express our opinions. And I look at my age, I'll be 82 in October. I've experienced of the 250 years of freedom here in the United States, I experienced 82 years of that particular type of birthday. Bob, I think, has exceeded that by a few years.
Well, I'm 86. So.
86. And so basically a third of that 250 years. That's basically right here.
Yeah.
Since you're the youngster on the dais, speak your piece, Anthony.
You want to talk about freedom? It just came out today, and we've discussed this a couple times, and it's gotten to be a heated issue in Michigan City. Always an issue in any public place, and you probably saw it on the council. I've seen it on many boards. The right of your ability, freedom of speech, to redress your government. Mm-hmm. Oklahoma, someplace in Oklahoma, had a big meeting about a data center. We know all the hullabaloo about data centers, so they had hundreds and hundreds of people that want to speak. They gave them the 3 minutes, which was the new thing today, that you get 3 minutes. They got a big clock up there. Well, some individual went 5 seconds over and they arrested him. Is that where we're at in freedom? Really? That's where we're at. Some elected officials, board members or commission members, don't want to sit there and listen to the public redress their grievances. And they clock you at 3 minutes, and they actually put this guy in handcuffs and walked him out of the room at 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Wow. Wow. Thank you thank everyone for our freedom and the service that they give us as freedom. But it's not free. Good priest now in Chesterton at the Catholic Church put it pretty easily. The Constitution says we hold these truths to be self-evident.
That all men are created equal. Endowed.
Have you ever tried to hold something for a period of time? It takes effort to actually hold something. That's why they say freedom's not free. You actually got to hold on to it. It takes effort. It takes energy. There you go. There's my freedom of speech before 4th of July. Lots of things to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I would just add to that the freedom of speech and the other amendments to the Constitution basically are what guarantees our freedom. Now, a lot of people will take that in terms of a private enterprise type system. These were designed to be a control on the government. So when they initiate a 3-minute speech, that probably, if you really wanted to push it, is unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. Now, if you go to your neighborhood grocer and he says you can back talk to me for 3 minutes, he can do that.
You're in his private property at his private grocery store.
Yes, you have to understand the difference between the two. I'm going to start out again by pushing the Michigan City LaPorte Visitors Bureau Guide. They're available at the Tourist Center in the old Marquette Mall. They're also available in hotels and motels, and they're available in a number of restaurants. It's a great synopsis of the various things that are available throughout the summer and more, getting into the fall and the winter in the LaPorte County area, specifically Michigan City and LaPorte. Take a copy of it, keep it, know the dates of all of the various things that we're going to go through, including the 4th of July celebration. LaPorte has a parade, Michigan City has fireworks, and all the way through December. So it's great for you, but if for those of you that are Tony's age and not mine and Dave's age, Tony's going to tell you where you can get this on the internet and as a mobile app. I personally prefer the big sheets and the pictures and reading about it, but Tony will tell you how you can ease it
I do
down.
too, and it's free. Any restaurant you come in or the grocery store, they have that. But if you're sitting at the beach or friends in town, the Visitor Bureau has done a very good job of putting it on. They made it mobile ready, which is not an easy task, and I'm very glad they thought about it. And it pages over just like you're reading a book. Visit MichiganCityLaPorte.com, and they have a section in there for their visitor's guide, which you can page right through it. I was getting to the front of it. It works really well. My phone's not one of the bigger phones. I mean, my kids' phones they're huge. Or your tablet or your Apple, you can look at this. It's not an app. It's just a website, and they have the ability to page through just like you were reading it. And you could zoom in. You know, for us that we need glasses, you could zoom in and make it bigger so you could read it. It's pretty nice. They did a really good job. Good job, Business Bureau. They made it available. Last week we were sitting here and Bob Halley's has it, and I never realized, have they taken the next leap? You'll find most people don't make the next leap to your phone, but we're all really on our phones. And you could pull it up at the beach. You could pull it up at Airbnb if you're in town.
Or you can
Pretty
lift
neat.
up one of these in an Airbnb.
You can look at that. Usually the Airbnbs have those sitting on them, and good for them. So for the out-of-towners, lots to do. A lot of it's free too.
Okay, well, I think the next topic I'm going to bring up, I already have been told that there will be some opposition to this. But I was born and raised in Michigan City. My wife was born and raised in Michigan City. We're well familiar with the situation in Lake Michigan. Now, when we were kids growing up, at 8 years of age, I joined the YMCA. My dad took me down and enrolled me. And one of the things he said afterwards, you can't live in Michigan City if you can't swim. He's absolutely right about that.
Swim well.
Yes. So, going back to the situation we had here over the past week and a half, we did lose a 13-year-old as a result of situations in the lake. Just to compare that to some other situations in terms of the Great Lakes, so far, 5 Great Lakes, 28 people have drowned in those various Great Lakes, 12 of them on Lake Michigan. So that's the number of statistics that I have so far. And I think Michigan City just made it 13. When I was growing up at the age of 8, my dad enrolled me in the YMCA, and I learned to swim at the Y. We would go on either Monday and Wednesday or Tuesday and Thursday. We had 2 nights after school that we went down there. We swam for an hour and came back and then walked home. One of my friends that would walk with me, or we'd walk together, lived Kenny-Quarter from me, Belden and Poplar Street. But we just walked home from the Y. Saturday mornings, 9 to 10 for swimming, 10 to 11 for gym. So as a result of that, we got a lot of swimming in. By the age of 12, I could swim 4 miles. A mile on 4 different strokes. Well,
That ain't easy.
I actually could swim farther than that, but I could swim a mile on 4 different strokes. I could do a side stroke, I could do what's called an elementary backstroke, I could do the crawl stroke, and I could do the breaststroke. And I could do a mile on each of them. But that's because I learned to swim at the Y, and then I joined the Boy Scouts when I was 9, and they did a lot of this for us. Beach safety, lake safety was a big topic if you were in the Boy Scouts. They taught you a lot about it, and they taught you at Camp Topanebe how to swim. Now, there was an instructor that worked at the Y, and he also worked for the Boy Scouts at Camp Topanibi. Ross Kuzmal. Ross Kuzmal taught a lot of us how to do these various strokes. He was an excellent swimming instructor. We don't have, from what I can tell from my grandkids, we don't have that growing up in Michigan City today. It's a lot more diverse. Sometimes you can go to the Y, sometimes you can get it through the Boys and Girls Clubs, but to actually get the kind of training that we had by the time I reached the age of 12, we don't have that available that I know of in Michigan City. Now, these two may know more about it, but I think we need to get more beach security. We need at least 3 stands for the lifeguards. We need one when you come into Lake Michigan and you can step down into the sand. We need one right there. That will cover the East Pier and the situation from that point up to about the senior center where we need the next lifeguard station. Then we need another lifeguard station down at a public beach, probably to the eastern end of it, to cover some of the other stuff, and that would be at stop 2. We need to get trained lifeguards, and we need to, through the public school system and others, get people interested in training to be a lifeguard. If there's one sport that Michigan City High School, junior high school ought to be very good at, it's swimming and diving. We got a lake out here. We've got all sorts of public pools. When I was growing up, the public pool, there was 2 of them. Number 1 was the YMCA. Number 2 was Long Beach. Long Beach's pool is no longer there. I'll throw in a little anecdote. It was very famous because Tony Weissmuller once came there. Tony Weissmuller played Tarzan in the movies. But he's a good swimmer.
But you talk about the YMCA, it's not the YMCA we now know at Elson. The YMCA was, what, 5th Street and Pine or something?
No, it was on Washington Street and I'm going to tell you, 7th Street.
7th, yeah.
Yeah.
Not the same YMCA we're talking about, different YMCA.
Yeah, well, you can tell them about the YMCA today. That YMCA was big on training kids to swim. It trained a lot of them, boys and girls. My wife learned through the Girl Scouts to swim at the Y and got a lot of training in how to swim because we actually met at Fetters Alley. Both of us like to swim, and as a result of that, we bumped into each other there. I'm going to argue for additional lifeguards. And I'm also going to argue that during times of very bad weather, obviously they're going to show the red flags, how bad the weather is, how bad the waves are, but we need to keep those lifeguards on duty, but going up and down, telling people how the lake situation is terrible. If you can't handle it, you don't need to be there. And very few people are going to be able to handle the types of situations that you see in that lake. We need to get those lifeguards, and we're going to need more of them. I think you need at least 3 at each station, so we're going to need 9 to 12 lifeguards. And you need to get them in 4-wheel drive vehicles when the red flags fly going up and down, and telling people that you're going to have to get out of that water because bad things happen in terms of rip currents. Today we use the term rip current. I don't think it's as good of a physical presentation as the term I was used. And the term I was used came from German. It came from the Germans who used to swim on the West Beach, not the East Beach, and the term translated as undertow. What I was talking about is this will pull you under. You have to be able to overcome that. Now, another thing I was taught, and I'm not going to go into the particulars on how to do this because somebody could do it and not do it right, but I was taught to do what's called a dead man's float. And with a dead man's float, you actually go down under and then you pop back up again. Learn how to do that. There are instructors out there that know how to do that. This one is a positive if you get into trouble, because it will pop you back up again. But keep in mind, the ability to swim out of something like that is very difficult. You have to be pretty strong to be able to do it. I want these lifeguards going up and down when we have serious situations out there and reminding people. I also know we have divers in the fire department, we have divers in the police department, we have divers at DNR. We need to have, when the situation is bad, at least 2 or 3 of these divers on duty at various stations or available very quickly. One of the situations you have with divers is, we had the same situation when I was in the Navy. They get there, and they will get them out of the water. The problem is they come out of the water almost always, because they can't get there fast enough, because they have to call them, have them come out, get into the gear. They can't get there fast enough to get them out of the water while they're still breathing. Well, I won't go into some of the things I saw in the Navy, but I learned from that you got to have divers there right away. And I think when we really have bad weather, keep in mind this is only going to be for 3 or 4 months out of the year. We need to have divers from the fire department, the police department, the DNR, and others available. How would I pay for this? Well, I've got 2 thoughts. First of all, I think that the Parks and Recreation Department needs to approach the Visitors and Tourism Department. They get a lot of money from the hotel motel tax. A lot of people come here and stay in our hotels, motels, and other rental properties in order to use the lake. Maybe the Tourist Bureau ought to be chipping in to help us pay for more lifeguards and to guard that beach better. The other way they possibly could think about is doing a beach safety tax. We have a hotel motel tax, we have a number of other taxes. A beach safety tax, which would be applicable to people staying in hotels and motels, not to the general public. I think we could cover enough expenses that we could afford to do this. Tony gets to tell me why I'm wrong.
Is this a Republican talking about an additional tax?
No, it's a fee.
Yes, we want the people that come here and use our facilities to pay for it.
Well, they come back and pay again. We don't want one-time payers.
They'll come back because
They're not dead.
They'll come back.
They're not drowned.
No, they're going to come back because it's Indiana. Any place you go in Illinois or Michigan, it's going to be more expensive.
If you're going to add a fee, just add it on to the parking fee that we now just
The park department initiated a parking fee. Maybe that's a source of revenue
add
for
it
new
right onto there
lifeguards.
for every car. You got to pay an extra fee for.
Propose what you guys think is right. I just did what I thought was right.
Yeah, so if you're looking at that many, and I believe we need more beach lifeguards, but if you're looking at it that much, and I've said this at least 3 times here, you solve the problem. You don't paint over a problem, you solve the problem. If you can solve
I agree with that.
If you could solve the problem, we can solve the problem. Here it is wave break. It doesn't have to be this. I have no interest in wave break. You can look on the internet for any of these. They do this all over the world. You can see the lake before the wave break. You can see the lake after the wave break. There is no undertow, rip current out there. It's nice and safe place to swim. We don't have to buy that. If they would ask me, if the powers that be or park would ask me, I'm sure we could build something like this with parts off the shelf at a local Ace Hardware or Lowe's or Menards. We could go down there and build it ourselves. We don't need to pay wave break or something that's probably outrageously expensive. We could do it ourselves. I guarantee you they'll permit it. This is a permit, I believe, that's the same thing as Whiting did with their in-water play area they have, the floating play area they have every year. I haven't been seeing it, but they did that same permit. This is the same permit. It's like an extended buoy. So we don't have, when people come visit, or even local people go on the lake, we don't have to worry about them drowning in rip currents or undertow, because there is none. And it's a safe place for them to enjoy and come back, and they could pay again for parking or this beach fee. If you're not alive, you can't pay the fee anymore, so you want to keep people alive, and this is one way we could do it. I did see this week, I don't know how I got on it, they have this 4-wheel amphibious vehicle that looks just like an ATV, like we drive now, the police drive. But it actually converts to a jet ski in 5 seconds. And it costs $40,000. So anyone who wants to go online, check it out. It's this, I don't remember the name of it. It's a 4-wheel drive. They have a whole bunch of different ones, but this one was very unique. It's a full speed jet ski, and it converts in 5 seconds. You drive it right in the water, right off the sand.
It would have got them to that.
It would have got you to any people that are, because this individual, I guess, who was jumped off the pier, somebody tried to save him, and they couldn't get them out. So there was a moment of time where they could save them. And if this amphibious vehicle that as fast as a jet ski gets right in the water with our lifeguards on it, probably could have saved this individual or other individuals who are in distress.
Didn't Mayor Perry address the issue of these jet skis when he was in office?
They wanted jet skis,
What happened?
and they were expensive, and we had to park them. This is a different kind of jet ski because the police department already drives ATVs up and down the beach. This is the same kind of ATV, except it converts in 5 seconds to a jet ski. So the police or the fire or lifeguards or the fire department could be on these on the beach. They see somebody in distress, somebody waving their hands, boom, that's faster than any lifeguard could get out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I think they were looking at using drones to drop life-saving rings to the people while they were out there, which was a good idea too. And on that note, I wonder, one reporter almost talked about it, but they knew they shouldn't, that this individual that drowned, there are life-saving rings on the pier right now.
Yeah, well, they've been there.
And they've been there for years.
Yeah.
And these young adults didn't realize to grab one of them, probably could have saved their life.
Well, I'm not sure that they're on the east side of the pier. They're on
the west side of the pier, but they're along the pier.
Yeah, they're up where you can, yeah.
They could have just grabbed it, jumped in, and helped save this individual. I don't know why that happened. Maybe we need more signs saying, or maybe more of them. That's not right. They're out there. Believe me, I've been on those rocks in my teenage years. Shouldn't be out there, and they'll do it. They'll keep going. I was never, I guess, I was wise enough not to jump off the rocks into a dangerous rip current or undertow. I mean, you knew what was out there, but they're slippery rocks, and people have fallen in. We have solutions. Again, if you're going to pay $100,000 a year for lifeguards, I think your investment is far wiser into either some sort of wave break and protect the beach swimming area, or $40,000 get you an amphibious ATV, get 2 or 3 or 4 of them. And they will be out there in seconds to somebody in distress, wherever they are on the beach, faster than a lifeguard can be. And then the lifeguard's not in peril.
Well, if what comes about is what a number of analysts are predicting, we're going to need a lot more safety on that beach. Because as the situation now stands, in the state of Indiana has approximately 16 miles, 32 to 35 miles between the Illinois line and the Michigan line, depending on whose, I guess, and Tony would know more about this than I do, but whose measurements you want to use. But there's only 16 miles of beach available.
Yeah, very, very few. Open public beach.
And Michigan City happens to be very fortunate because down through the years, people saved the beach for us. And we're going to have more and more people coming here to be able to use that beach. And we want to be able to have safety for those people because, first of all, that's the right thing to do. But secondly, obviously, we want tourist money, revenue coming in. It provides jobs for people in Michigan City. And if we can provide a safe beach, one that people can feel confident about, I think we're going to find that we're going to do a lot better.
What happened to the Coast Guard? Did the feds pull the Coast Guard out of Michigan City?
Yeah, feds pulled the Coast Guard.
Did we receive any reciprocal agreement with the feds to replace what the Coast Guard used to
We
do?
didn't get any reciprocal agreement with the Naval Armory either. Well, I guess we did, but it never came to fruition. Well, maybe. I guess the National Guard was supposed to move in there, and maybe they had.
They were little for a while.
Aren't they still there?
And they have some stuff there. I don't think they're posted there, though.
I'm sorry?
I don't think they're posted there anymore. They're up on tops.
Yeah.
But they still have some stuff there.
I heard that under Franklin Street there's a bunker, ammunition bunker, attributed to the National Guard Armory.
Yeah, probably.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea, if you're going to have lifeguards, we do need some more. To get them up in the parapet looking is far different than having on an ATV or an amphibious ATV out in the water while people are there knowing they shouldn't be, trying to say, hey, you realize you're out here too far, you need to get back in, but I'm still out here instead of sitting on the shore, looking at somebody in distress and the waves come over. You don't know, you can lose minutes there just knowing if they're in distress. At least they're out there, because they can't be out there without some sort of ATV or some sort of boat of some sort. It's telling people, listen, I don't think you understand how dangerous this is out here, even waist deep. And
For
that's
good swimmers, it's dangerous.
and we got to have them, we can't put them in peril. So lifeguards need some protection too. But you need to put them at the point where they're telling people, guys, we need to get back in. This is not safe at all. But that, I mean, we could pay for it. I think it's something, I think it's needed in the Perry administration, and the help of the assistance of Don Przeblinski raised the salaries, so we got good lifeguards.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare.
I'm not at all complaining about that. I want the school system to do more in terms of training people to be lifeguards. And I want Ivy Tech to do more in terms of training people.
And normally it's a pretty good job.
Not only can they get jobs in Michigan City, they can also get jobs at the Lakeshore National Park, which is always hurting for lifeguards.
And it's a pretty good job normally. The weather's nice.
Yeah.
People aren't drowning. You just got to make sure people aren't unruly. Pretty nice job to have.
Yeah.
Normally. But the days when it's tough, need to be prepared. So we have a good beach. This is it. I was looking at a chart when the highest, obviously when the highest drownings in America are, and it's July. There's about 4,000 drownings across the nation every year. It's sad that 28 happened already in the Great Lakes, but there's 4,000 of various pools. Locations, lakes, streams, ponds, pools, people doing stuff they shouldn't do. It happens. But be prepared.
In Michigan City, we know about it. I mean, some of these places, they don't really realize what the danger situations are. They don't think about it. They're small pools, they're small ponds, things like this. People fall out of boats and can't swim. Something that they're not really thinking about. Here in Michigan City, we know the situation. And it looks to me like the school system's got to do more at the junior high and high school level, preparing these kids going through it to handle themselves in the lake and to potentially become lifeguards or deal with this kind of situation.
Can we move to a different topic?
Sure. Well, go ahead, Dave.
Gas.
Oh.
Gas is the cheapest. Indiana enjoys very cheap gas because of the gas tax was rescinded. I want to, and poly market, whatever you want to call it, prediction market, poly market, Kalshi, or whatever it is. We're not going to take bets, but when do you think the governor will rescind the executive order on the gas tax to about what, 63 cents?
Yeah, 62 and a
on
half.
July 1st.
Well,
when do you think he will rescind the order? Because it's pretty cheap right now.
Right. I don't think he'll rescind it on July 1st, but if I had to give you a date, I would tell you July 7th or August 7th.
Well, isn't oil at $69 a barrel?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking, because at some point, we need the money to fix the roads. I hate the fees of the tax, but we need the money to fix the roads. He's losing $50 million a year, a month.
Yeah.
A lot of money. And we're enjoying $3.30 gas when you take 63 cents back on, you're at $4. It's a good political win, but at some point, he's got to take it back. He's got to put it back, and it's not going to be fun that day when it goes back up 63 cents.
Well,
I think you're right. I'd say July 7th.
I'm going to take somewhat the opposite tack of that, because this rescinding of the gas tax has been really good for people that are what we call ALICE. Access limited, income limited, might be slightly above the poverty level, slightly below the poverty level, but have a job, have to get to work, and have to get their kids to school. We don't have the busing situations like we used to have. And when I was growing up, we didn't have buses. I don't care where you lived. If you lived in Michigan City, you walked to school because Dad took the car to work, so it wasn't Mother taking you to school. But the situation is that probably had a bigger effect on these people that are living right at the poverty level, right below it, slightly above it, in terms of the take-home money that they had left over. They could buy a little better food, afford the winter situation in terms of their heat bill. And so I think it was a huge positive for those people, and I'm glad that the governor put it in.
It's great. It's great that you say that, and it's great that you're here. If you're losing $50 million a month, $50 million times 12 months is what? $600 million?
Yeah, $600 million.
And the state of Indiana is holding $2 billion
Well,
in reserve?
that is the reserve, but at the end of the 2005 budget year, July 2025, they had 2.7 billion.
Okay, 2.7.
So there's 700 million
You're digging
over.
the deeper hole.
Now, they were projecting this year, as of June 30th, that they would be at 3.2 billion. So they're going to have $1.2 billion without hitting the reserves.
Bob, you're great. You're great, Bob.
God, do you ever read the numbers?
You proved my point over and over again. If we need $600 million a year from the gas tax, and the state of Indiana now is, where would you leave us at? 3.2 billion?
They're thinking that.
Just get rid of the gas tax. Just get rid of it. We already have 3.2 billion. That only puts you at 2 billion. 2.6 billion from 3.2 billion. If we just get rid of it, because I believe the gas tax could be a job creator. It could be an incentive. It could spur the economy, because everyone from Illinois and Michigan and Ohio and Kentucky would all come over here, because our gas is dirt cheap, because we got rid of the 63 cents a gallon gas.
But
we have the money.
Time out. If you think of this in terms of gasoline-driven engines versus diesel-driven engines, keep in mind that the tax was never taken off of the diesels. So these 18-wheelers, 24-wheelers that are coming across the Indiana-Illinois line to stop at Love's outside of Michigan City, they're paying the full tax.
Leave it on.
Hey, how much of our viewing audience you think we have lost over the last 15 or 20 minutes about
gas tax
bullshit going on? I mean, there's more important things going on here in Michigan City.
Well, what?
Okay, for example, Red Wine and Brew Fest.
Yeah, that's this weekend. You're watching Saturday.
At Summit Hill. The Michigan City Summer...
Wait, and there's a big name there. Martina McBride, I think, Saturday night. Red Wine and Brew.
And Greenwood, he made reference. Greenwood made reference. He may be there. Summer Festival Parade tomorrow. Again, if you're watching us, you got a few. The parade, I believe,
Summer
starts
Festival Parade in LaPorte tomorrow. I think.
No, Michigan City.
Michigan City is tomorrow, Saturday.
Okay,
Saturday. So if you're watching at 10 in the morning Saturday,
You got time.
you can jump out there and hit the parade on Franklin.
And then parents with kids interested in the NFL, you can see Braden Fisk out at Ames Field after the parade. You know, he has his opening. Talking about the Summer Festival Parade, when I was on the City Council, Warren Jones was the Grand Marshal of the Michigan City Summer Festival Parade, and the theme of that particular time was Vietnam Appreciation Day. And you know who was the honorary Grand Marshal for the Michigan City Summer Festival Parade in conjunction with Warren Jones? You're looking at him. Warren Jones and we rode together.
In a nice convertible?
In a nice convertible. I saw something on C-SPAN this morning about tall ships in Baltimore, Maryland. Why can't we attract some ships to come in to Michigan City?
I thought we had a tall ship last year.
We
2
did,
years ago?
but this is our birthday.
A tall ship. Didn't we have tall with 2 ships?
Yeah,
2 years ago?
we've had it.
But today is our birthday. I mean, this
250 years.
250 years. I mean,
They're probably a little busy at other places. 250 years.
but yet we don't hear our contribution to our nation's birthday here in Michigan City. Why
That's
not?
a good point.
Why
what
not?
has Michigan City done for its 250-year celebration to celebrate Michigan City in 250 years?
Why not? You know.
Huh.
I mean, there's a lot of things going on, but again, for the kids to see to get close to a National Football League player, you know, how close I got was when Dave Perry. I would go to Paul Michaels and Dave Perry. We'd shoot the breeze by Barker Junior High, where Dave used to live. That was as close as I got to the NFL, because Dave was the NFL.
Well, see, that was because you were from LaPorte. Now, if you would have been from Michigan City, the Chicago Bears, when they broke camp in Rensselaer, used to come up here, and they played a game at Ames Field just before the season started. All of us kids walked out onto the field and got signatures from all sorts of Chicago Bear players. But, you know, being from LaPorte, you got the rear end of things.
Yeah, I know.
Michigan City always was the leader.
But why have we lost some of the good things of the past? Why?
Yeah, and we were talking about Washington Park before we started the show, and how you are now have a charge or a fee or a sticker, because back, not in my day, but 40s and 50s, they had a whole host of private operations down there.
Right.
The Oasis, the ballroom, the bumper cars.
The name was the Washington Park Amusement Company.
Washington Park Amusement Company. You know, Oasis, right? The bumper cars, merry-go-round, Ferris wheel. It was all the concessions were down there.
I
And you
remember
didn't
going-
pay to go down there. That was run by a corporate, private company.
Yeah.
And they made money, and that money made Washington Park free.
And I remember in 57 and 58 having our class picnics. We'd come from LaPorte to Washington Park and went to the Penny Arcade and those viewing devices. I mean, there were things that, you know.
That was run by a private
Yeah.
corporation.
Yeah.
And then the government got involved and thought they could do better, and they weren't getting their fair share. And so the corporation said, see you later, and now we've got to pay to get in. Maybe we should bring something back. Maybe we should bring another private corporation back in there to run an amusement park during the summer, all summer long, and we could have people down there and amusement. I mean, everyone knows about Indiana Beach.
Well,
A lot of people have been there.
Before we do that, I would have us go up and take a look at St. Joe, Michigan,
St. Joe, Michigan.
and see how they're doing in terms of.
I think they're heavily subsidized.
Well, yeah, you got the corporate headquarters, worldwide headquarters for Whirlpool, which gives them all kinds of money. That helps. But I would also tell you that probably what you're going to see in this day and age, if we're going to get something like that, is going to be out into the county somewhere, located probably between Michigan City and LaPorte, because they're going to want a large area to develop. And as a result of that, you know, you're not going to get it down at the beach area. You're going to get it out in the county. I think something like that will happen.
At a minimum, I think a boardwalk, a removable boardwalk, I've said this many times, 12, 24 foot wide along the beach to have vendors sell whatever, ice cream, popcorn, pizza, popsicles, up and down the boardwalk. And I'm talking all the way from like the senior center back to the Washington Park parking lot. We could open up the corporate world and have vendors out there selling stuff, and I'm talking maybe behind the lifeguard stand, up and down. It's better access, it's handicap access, and we get corporate people who are willing to be vendors in Michigan City all the time. And you can make some money out, and there probably could be some surcharge, fee, whatever you want to call it, on the popcorn they sell, or 10 cents. We start paying for stuff. And how many times have we been to the beach? I'm not old enough to remember any time where you didn't have to lug your cooler and everything down to the beach and enjoy your time at the beach. Sure be nice if there was a boardwalk, and you can go to New Jersey, you can see it. New Jersey charges, has a boardwalk, and they charge people to get on the Jersey Shore. You can't get on the Jersey Shore unless you go through a separate entrance along the boardwalk, and you pay to be sitting on the beach, because on the boardwalk they have vendors of all sorts. Pretty neat operation. We're not reinventing the wheel here. Even in Michigan City, we're not reinventing the wheel. We're trying to bring back what corporate world, what private parties did, and kept Washington Park running for free, because they made money and they paid licenses to be out there. That's what we should do.
I'm trying to think of the names of the two gentlemen that ran that. I'm not coming up.
I wouldn't know. I just know you can look at pictures. Go online, go to the museum, LaPorte County Museum, go to the Lighthouse. You see pictures, amazing.
I worked for the park a couple times in the summer, so.
Amazing what was down there. The ballroom, everything down there, it was packed house. Busy times. A lot longer than, and they had enclosed areas, so if there was bad wind or something, people went down there at night. A lot of fun happened, and a lot of money was made.
Yeah.
And now we just have government run, and it just seems to want more and more taxes, fees, surcharges, whatever you want to call them. And we're going to try to run it. But back to the beach. This is summertime. I would think a lot of people are going to be at the beach the next few weekends. It's going to be very warm. They have systems set up now, right?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't tried it.
Starts the 3rd. 3rd of July.
You can drive through for free for 15 minutes.
Correct.
You park, you got to pay a fee. If you don't pay the fee, you get a fine. And we'll see how it happens. I hope they make some money. I like Bob.
Oh, they will make money.
I like Bob. You know, these out-of-towners come here. Wouldn't phase them one bit to pay $20, $40. They wouldn't even blink because Michigan City Beach is that nice.
Yeah.
So we need to enjoy that and make money off of it.
Yeah, if
Now, I
you,
have one other way that we could make some money. This doesn't involve the beach. If you go out on Highway 12 or on Highway 20, on the weekend, all you have to do is look at all of the Illinois plates streaming through Indiana into Michigan to buy cannabis, and they're buying it in very large loads. So I think the state of Indiana has a law on how much cannabis you can have
None.
in the car. No, I think you can have some medical cannabis.
Medical. Yeah, medical. Yeah.
But that's it. Man, the fines that we could rack up would be unbelievable.
You could support, I think, at least 4 or 5 new officers who just sit out on 212, 12, and 20 and just start racking up fines. And it's real easy to find out which car it's in.
Yes.
but it's my understanding that officers who write tickets, those tickets then go to Indianapolis and we get a kickback.
Better something than nothing.
You know, but I mean, similar to the comments you made earlier.
Well, if it's
pertaining
the
to
state
other-
police, you might be right.
Yeah,
Not if it's the local police.
really.
I think that's got to go through a court here in the county. But if it's the state police, yeah, I think you're right.
I think we fill up our jail in 1 week.
We don't want to fill up the jail. Have them pay the fine in advance. And
I've been calling 212 and 94 and Highway 20 the marijuana motorway. It's out of control. It's so out of control.
I was talking to a couple of my grandkids who are more up on this than I am, but one of their friends, I guess his parents do that, comes from Illinois, goes into Michigan. They can buy in Michigan for half the price that they would pay in Illinois for the same amount.
Because of
Taxes,
taxes,
yeah.
fees, and surcharges.
Oh, by that, what's the status of the Bears?
The
What do you
Bears,
know?
I thought the governor of Illinois says, oh no, somebody said we'll know in 30 days. The Hammond mayor.
Oh, they're kicking it down the road
The
again?
Hammond mayor says they're going to announce something in 30 days. We'll see.
Yeah. My personal opinion, they will go to Arlington Heights, but percentage-wise, it keeps going down all the time. I can't believe how bad the state of Illinois, and even worse, the city of Chicago, have goofed this thing up. I'm going to say the wrong term. Have goofed this thing up. Unbelievable. But for us, this
Well,
would be
Illinois
a
has
huge
to-
positive.
Illinois has no choice. Whatever Chicago wants, Chicago gets. That's still on. And if Chicago bollockses it up, they bollocks it up. I personally think, and I look at the, again, prediction market, poly market, like a 1% chance that the Bears stay at Soldier Field. I think it's going to be
No, they're not going to stay at Soldier Field.
I think it's Soldier
They're
Field.
gone.
I think it's a dome.
But it's going to be Arlington Heights or Hammond.
Again, Arlington Heights is further from downtown Chicago than Hammond.
Yes.
I think Hammond has a really good chance.
I've got it 60-40. 40 for Hammond, 60 for Arlington
I think that's
Heights.
what Polymarket-
But it keeps going the other way.
Prediction
so-
market, I think, has it too. But guys, I think when it comes down to money, the Bears would be wise to come to Indiana because they have a standard tax that they're going to pay, and it's not going to go through the roof. They're not going to get flushed out with more taxes or fees. The owners will make far more money in Indiana than they'll ever make in Illinois.
Now, one more thing. Tony can talk about me and money afterwards and so on and so forth. But the reason that the Chicago Bears have to strongly look at Hammond is this. They are one of the last single-family ownerships. Almost all of the ownerships in the NFL are by conglomerates of some kind. When I say that, limited liability
Equity
partnerships,
partners.
limited liability companies that or corporations that have a partner who runs the operation, and then they have silent partners, and all of that money gets dispersed among those people. The money that the Chicago Bears make goes strictly within two families, the Hallis family and the McCaskey family. George Hallis had two kids, They had Virginia Hallis McCaskey, who they run the place, because Muggsy Hallis, his son, passed away at a very early age. But the Hallis family still has a significant amount of ownership, but not enough to be the controlling partner in the situation. So as a result of that, one analyst said that there's 42 grandkids. Now, if you have any, I have 8 grandkids, I can't get them to agree on a hamburger, let alone having 42 grandkids trying to agree on how they're going to spread up the sale of Chicago Bears. Are you kidding me?
You always bring up a good point. My prediction far before this was that they have to do this because the two families want to sell out. People said I'm crazy. I think somebody else also reports, like Fitzgerald, somebody owes some part of it too. I think they want to package this up, sell it to equity partners for billions of dollars, and then the grandkids can split up just like Anheuser-Busch did. They had too many kids, too many grandkids, too many great-great-grandkids. They sold it to InBev for billions of dollars, and then they all had their money for them and their future and every heir and every... So I think this is a concerted effort to have that's why I say Hammond's in good running, because they will have the most generated revenue for the Bears, which makes the equity partners look at them and pay them more money. I think they're packaging it up for a potential sale, or at least to look at the potential sale.
Oh, they're going to look at
billions, and
there's no doubt about that.
It might be the first $1 trillion sale in sports history. We'll see.
Yeah.
We just saw SpaceX go to $1 trillion. Who knows? Maybe the Bears are looking to try to hit the $1 trillion, so the families have enough money for whoever and whatever history they have, they will walk away.
When that analyst said he had 42 grandkids that they had to get to agree on this, and I'm thinking, hell, I got 8 grandkids and they can't agree on a hamburger.
They will agree if there's a big pot of money.
Yes, that's true.
And if they are told, listen, this is a deal we're going to make on Hammond because these equity, 3, 4, 10 equity partners want to spend $1 trillion, will nod their head in agreement. 100%. So we'll see. I still think Hammond's in the running, and I think it's got a good chance. I think Indiana is the best place financially for the Bears.
And it will do wonders for Michigan City.
Sure will. Be good for us. Where you go? What do you got?
Oh, me? I'm just listening to you guys. You know, I'm
well, we just made
little
you
slow today.
We just made you and your wife multi-millionaires on the house you own. So,
You didn't think about our house, our revenue in our houses will go up.
Yeah,
pretty quickly if the Bears come to Indiana.
No, just stop and think about this. If you're somebody who really is into sports, and you've really got the money to do it, you could get season tickets to Notre Dame, season tickets to the Chicago Bears, and based on some other factors, season tickets to see Purdue play. And you could make all 3 of those in one weekend, depending on how they schedule it. So Michigan City would be an ideal place to motivate from if you're in that situation. And there are people out there that would do that.
It's great to go to sports, isn't it? Maybe you can help us out here. Where is the NCAA on deciding about their athletes? Have they made that decision?
No, legislation at the federal level is being initiated.
Yes, but the NCAA also said, 5 years, no red shirt. They have really locked down, and some NCAA programs are a little upset because there's people that will not.
If it's what I think it is, I'm a little upset too, because it's 23 years old, you can't be part of it. We could have an individual who enlists in the military for 4 years at the age of 19. He's going to be 23 years old when he comes out. He might like to play. I think they've got to start looking at, okay, where are exemptions? And that certainly ought to be one of them. For a guy who served 4 years, or on the girl's side, a lady who served 4 years in the military, she still ought to be able to play, I think.
Now, the government getting involved, that's not going to turn out.
There goes the neighborhood.
That's not going to turn out well. What did Reagan say?
Yes, well, something about, what is it?
I'm here from the government, I'm here to help. if the government's getting involved in the NCAA, I think we got more important things to do, and it will not turn out well.
Well, didn't they initially get involved when the NIL concept was
Yeah.
created?
That went through the courts, really. That they had to start paying these students. That was right. That was
What's that?
the name, image, likeness was perpetuated through the courts,
Yeah.
and they won their ability to get money. Now, when the government starts passing laws, good luck. I mean, the last thing I read this week, maybe you can help me, is the government's trying to, Trump is waiting to sign the Affordable Housing Act, or whatever you want to call it. Good luck. That will not, it won't work. It will not lower the prices of homes. It will not work. It's just another administrative nightmare that you're going to have to go through if you want to buy a house. They say it's going to help people own houses and not equity partners. I know in Michigan City, at least, 3 projects that are probably might not happen because the equity partners won't be allowed to build these and own them. How's that going to help Michigan City? Again,
You know, adjacent to my house, we've got a vacant lot, and based on rules and regulations, I wouldn't be able to build a house on my vacant lot.
unless you owned it or somebody bought it from you as a personal,
Yeah.
and not a secondary interest partner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not, I mean, they pass these bills and they have great names on the top of them, but they don't work. Again, just like we said at the beach, look what happened. It was a money-making affair, great guns going, people coming, no fees to the beach, and the government took over, and now where are we at? Oh, we're having flock cameras track you in and out and make you pay. That's where we ended up. Should we go the other way and go back to what worked? I don't know. I mean, I remember
I'm not
days-
sure you, at this day and age you can, because I think you've got to be much larger if you're going to open that kind of a fair.
Indiana beach runs. People have bought it out. It's not the biggest place. It's
No,
very
it's not
small.
the biggest place.
Lots of people drive down there every summer.
That's where we went after the prom. That'll tell you how old it was.
I just, I received a weekly update pertaining to the band concerts. And I'm looking at my update for the band concert coming up on the 2nd of July. And there's a series of email addresses to where the Michigan City Municipal Band sends all of his information to. You know, that includes the
Yeah.
News
You're
Dispatch.
supposed to hide that.
Well, I've got a series of email addresses now pertaining to organizations that they send notification to, so personal information. You say it's supposed to be hidden?
You can hide that when you send emails. You shouldn't.
Well, this wasn't.
You shouldn't send a list of everyone you CC on your address, because it gives away information that you probably don't want to be sent. But it's a band concert, so maybe those people are interested. You only got 5 minutes.
Yeah, or down to 5.
Maybe people are interested, and we got the band every Thursday night.
Well,
You get the kid. It goes from when? 4,
it goes from 7 till 8:30.
7 to 8:30, and what time do the flock cameras stop?
8 o'clock.
So we don't know. We have to do some research.
Now they get you coming in.
But maybe after 8:30, you're not getting charged. We don't know.
We don't know, but if you don't identify your that image on your cell phone, you may get in for free. Huh?
If the flock camera doesn't pick you up coming and pick you up going, who are they going to send the bill to?
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe there's a default mechanism. They pick you up coming and they never pick you up going. Maybe they put you in for the next morning when they turn back on. I don't know.
No, I would think everything is time stamped, to a certain extent.
The flock cameras are a very interesting
Yeah.
part of our generation right now. Somebody in Elkhart just chopped one down. Do not do that. But there are reports now that the flock camera system, the corporation, wants to start selling their ability to states, and I think a state's already contracted, to catch you with your seatbelt off, or they catch you on your phone. And they told us that the flock cameras only catch plates. Now they're telling us that they have the ability to help municipalities catch you on your phone or catch you with your seatbelt off, I think they're not just picking up plates.
Yeah, and greater capabilities of the operation that they haven't disclosed yet.
No, they have not.
They haven't.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sad when I see the flock cameras or the shot spotter cameras in neighborhoods that, I mean, these are neighborhoods that are not the nicest neighborhoods, and they are, you know, when we have this society that we don't need to pick on poor people or racially motivated, and that's where all the shot spotters and all the flock cameras are. It's not right. It's not right at all. I mean, picking on people that they're trying to make a living, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're trying their best.
Well, that's the ones I keep talking about.
We shouldn't be profiling whole neighborhoods. It's beyond the pale, in my opinion, and I don't think the evidence out there.
But I think here in Michigan City, we really don't have a problem about profiling neighborhoods because we have tore all the neighborhoods down and it's now vacant land. Unless we want to profile the geese when they come in and fly.
Or we could go over and look at LaPorte, which left all those houses that you can't live in standing.
Well, the wild animals like it. The feral cat.
Feral cats love it.
Well, again, the 4th of July.
That's lunch and a place to sleep.
4th of July weekend's coming up.
Yes.
Michigan City Parade. I got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Michigan City Parade.
Get your copy of the LaPorte County Visitors Bureau Guide. If you want to go on a mobile app or on the internet, I am told by our younger counterpart here, it's MichiganCityLaPorte.com, and you can read in the small print, or you can get one of these and read the big print.
And if you want to get warmed up on the 2nd of July at 7:30 at Guy Foreman Amphitheater, there'll be the band concert. The theme of the particular date is America 250, a celebration. So the Michigan City Municipal Band will be playing.
Nice.
Again, I attended last night's concert. Oh, Drew White. Believe it or not, I saw Drew White there. He walked in and he meandered around the crowd. So again, maybe our little effort of attracting people to the band concert is bearing fruit because Drew showed up. Well, I could go into the various songs, but it pertains to John Philip Sousa, marching bands, and so on, and a tribute to Louis Armstrong, Shenandoah, American Flourish by Robert W. Smith, Hoedown from the Rodeo is also going to be played by the Michigan City Municipal Band. So again, they're trying to create some enthusiasm. I want to thank everybody for watching. Your input as to improvements, criticism of this program is greatly appreciated. Please contact Show's co-producers, Bob Pollock, Dave Bila, or Tony Hendricks. You can email Bob at skrpollock@gmail.com, Dave at djbila1@hotmail.com, or Tony at emailagm@yahoo.com. Or you may direct your ideas for any future shows to our one and only staff writer who only accepts snail mail, if you can find her. Her name is Sarah Bellum. The showing of our program will be Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And if you're watching it tomorrow, get out to the parade. You know, you still got some time. Also Monday and Thursday evening at 7 p.m. and numerous times on Channel 99 when Andy has some dead time to fill when most people are sleeping. You may also watch enjoying our program on 99 Navigate News and Views.
Yep. Updated.
That's attributed to Tony, and if it's not updated, blame him. I've got nothing to do with it. I want to thank everybody for watching. Have a good day tomorrow at the parade, or as you have a good day today at the parade if you're watching this tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and make it a good day.